Welcome to episode 3. We are going to be coding in ourselves a bubble sort and a sort picking device. So now what we're going to do is, in the beginning, we want to not have the screen be cluttered, so we're going to delete that list that we had. Well, we'll erase it. And we're going to ask the user, after we ask them to input the number of lines, we'll ask them, what sort would you like? Now we need to make a new list. We're going to name this one sorts. This is where we're going to have all our sorts. When we start the program, what we want to do is hide sorts so that it doesn't take up screen space. And then once we ask them a question, we will show it. So until we ask number of lines, the sort list will not show up. We have the wrong one by accident. There we go. Now what we want to do is, at the beginning, we're going to delete everything from sorts because we can use that for different things. We will add bubble sort. So now what we're going to do is we need to tell, when we have this pop up here, the user will be able to, I did it again, I forgot to set that to source. We need to make sure that the user only inputs things that we have, because what if they input a 2? Now they're choosing sort number 2, but sort number 2 does not exist. What we need to do is, well, first hide the list sorts so that we don't clutter up the screen and block that. We need to have a repeat until and equal, or no, we're going to do contains. We're going to get answer contains, and we're going to put 1. We'll have a dash on both sides. But why are we doing any of this? Well, first of all, later on when we get more sorts, we're going to do 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. If we were to just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what if they wanted to, what if they accidentally put in 12? Now here's the thing. It's going to search for 12 when they wanted 1 or 2. It's going to see, look, there's a 1 and a 2 right next to each other. This is 12. 12 is a sort in here. And it won't actually do a sort, and the user might get confused because they thought they entered in 1. What we can do is make a new variable named answer, and we will set answer to, we need 2 join blocks. This is not confusing at all. Answer, we're going to set answer to answer. I'm going to put 2 dashes here. So now if I put in a number 1, it's going to see put the 2 dashes there. Let's show answer. We will get just this. We'll put 1, and now you see answer up here is 1 with 2 dashes next to it. We will ask this question again. What sort would you like? And it will repeat this until the user picks a valid number, like 1 in this case. So if I were to put 2, oh, no, can't do that. 3, 123, can't do that. But if I put 1, it's good. No, it isn't. Why isn't it good? That's interesting. Oh, yes, I forgot. Let's put an answer here. 1. Answer is being set to the right thing, right? This is quite the predicament. Oh, wait. I did it the wrong way around, I think. Yep. We have to see if this contains this. So now it should work. 2 doesn't work. 3 doesn't work. 1, it does work. Now we can go ahead and hide answer again. Now what we're going to do is have another one named sort broadcaster. Well, we're going to go, it's back to here, and we will set let's make a new variable, sort type. We will set sort type to the blue answer, not the variable answer. I know it's quite confusing. I should use something better, but it's the way I do it. So now this will be set to the number that we typed in and not dash number dash. So what we're going to do is down here, we're actually going to change this one to a broadcast screen update and wait. And now we're going to do run sort. And we're going to do run sort and wait. These are useful to use. Now what we're going to have is when I receive run sort, we're going to have a really big if statement here. You're going to have if answer. I forgot to set answer to this. Or no, sorry. If sort type equals 1, we will want to run bubble sort. We will broadcast run bubble sort and wait. Okay, well now we have it generate a list and have it run a sort. We're going to make one more sprite and we're going to do bubble sort. Now, I'm sure I don't need to quite explain how bubble sort works. If you're here trying to make a visualizer, I kind of assume you have some background knowledge of how bubble sort works. But I will explain our main goals into coding it anyways. So what bubble sort needs to do is take it from this and put it into order so we get smallest to biggest. And it does this by going across. Remember how this looks like it went across? Well, bubble sort will do something exactly like this, but every time it moves the numbers, it will change it. If the first one is smaller or bigger than the second one, it will swap it. Then it'll move, and then if the second one is bigger than the third one, it will swap it, and so on, until it reaches the end list, which we need to make it go back to the beginning. That's the second thing that we need to program, it going back to the beginning. And then finally, the third thing is detecting if it's sorted or not. Now, what we need to do is when I receive, did I not do run bubble sort? Human error, let me tell you, it's the worst thing you'll run into. So we need to run our bubble sort, and we're going to have a repeat until. I'm going to make a new variable named done. we're going to set done to false. Now, if you're new to Scratch, don't worry. You might be panicking because we've only used these for numbers and dashes up until now. Scratch, it does not care what variables are set to. You can set it to numbers, letters, decimals. You can even do special characters as shown before with dashes, and it really doesn't even care. You see? The only time it has a problem if you have like the letter A and you try to change it by 1. So what we want to do is set done to false. And we're going to repeat until done is equal to true. So whenever we start up our loop again, which is when we're at the beginning, we're going to set done to true, which makes you think that defeats the whole purpose. It's just going to go through once and say it's done. Don't worry, we'll get there. What we want to do is make sure we set I to 1 and J to, I put that in the wrong place. Oh man. Okay. We're going to set I to 1 and J to 2. And then we're going to have another repeat until. And we're going to have this one be until J is bigger than, we're getting a new one we haven't used yet, length of data. This one is like number of lines, but it's safer because later on when you make more complicated sorts that change the length of the list by doing different things, it will make it so that number of lines doesn't change, but length of data does. What we're going to do is get our change variables out. We're going to change both I and J by 1, and this is going to be at the end again. We're going to have an if statement. If, we'll get a less than, if item blank of data is less than item blank of data, and we're going to go back to our variables and put if item I is bigger than item J of data, we're going to do a swap. And now, I mean, we could keep putting this in every time we want to swap, but what we're going to do, and I'll make it from scratch over here, what we're going to do is every time we needed to make a swap, we'll make it easier on ourselves by making a new block. We're naming this swap. You can choose whether or not to run it without a screen refresh. It's such little code that you don't really need to worry about it. First of all, when we need a swap, we're going to set done to false. That's where this comes in. If it's at the beginning and it makes it to the end without having to make a single swap, that means done will still be set to true, but if it even makes one singular swap, it will be set to false. Now we will do what we did before. We will set holder to item 1 of data, except what we want to do is set it to item I of data. Then we're going to replace item I of data with item J of data, and then we will replace item J of data with holder. We can also hide done. I forgot to do that. And now every time we put this here, it will set done to false, holder to item I. We will replace item I with item J, and we'll replace item J with holder. And now here's the thing, if we run it, we won't see anything. What we need to do is screen update again. And we'll put a screen update here every single time we change every time we swap afterwards. Now if we do this again, we'll do 100 lines, we'll do bubble sort. Now what we should see is we have bubble sort. And now let's just give it a second to sort. Now, if you're noticing, we're seeing it go up this every time, and that gets kind of tiresome. So what we're actually going to do is stop it, and now we're only going to make it update the screen every time it swaps. That way, we don't have to see it deal with this over and over. So let's do it again, 100 lines, and just bubble sort. And now we should see, well, we shouldn't see anything going on there. I was just noticing that this looked kind of skinny. There we go, those are more filled out. I think we can go even a little further with that. Maybe 170. And then we also need to change this in here. So let's do 200. Let's see what this looks like. Much better. Okay, well, that's it for episode 3. In episode 4, we will go over how to display different things, such as when it is done. We will also work on sound, and we will be almost done.